If you are dealing with burnout, then you need to hear this. All right. So, hello, my name is Kendall, and I make content about holistic ways to live a healthier life. All right, let's hop right on in. So, burnout, what is it? It is that feeling of giving and not getting anything back. It is being exhausted no matter how much you rest. It is feeling tired on a soul level. Like to me, it's this feeling of there's not enough rest, there's not enough caffeine, there's not enough vacation that could cure it, right? That's the type of burnout that I am talking about. And typically, if you are in this state, we're not going to get too much into the why, but most likely you are perhaps ADHD, autistic, uh, working through complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which I may refer to as CPTSD in this video. And it is the type of burnout from just feeling so much, having to keep carrying so much alone, from hyper independence, never having anyone to rely on, from masking and having to, I don't want to say pretend, but to keep up a persona that isn't really you. All right, so that's what the focus of this is. And through my own experience and through the people that I have worked with, the first thing that we can think to do whenever we are burnt out is we think we need more stamina, or we just need to get better. We can be really hard on ourselves. And sometimes many of us are in a situation where you have to keep going, or else we have this fear that everything will fall apart. Worst case scenario, you'll lose everything if you stop and take a rest. Okay? But take a deep breath with me, right? There is no amount of trying and sleeping and whatnot that can really cure this type of burnout. What actually fixes this burnout is, first, it is, I believe, a mindset shift, okay? And this mindset shift is typically when we're burned out to the max, is where we have lived our life for others, right? Dipping over into that codependence area in order to keep everyone else happy, in order to keep everything going, right? A lot of times, the people that we've surrounded ourselves with like us and depend on us because of how much we can carry and how much we can do, seemingly without help. Many of us have learned that asking for help isn't safe, or help isn't necessarily available, right? So we get to a point where we burn ourselves out. Now, if we don't make the mindset shift to start putting ourselves first, really, and getting a better grasp on what is actually feasible, like what we can actually do and what we actually can't do. And if we're not getting to a point of where we can actually reach out and ask people for help and be able to be supported by other people, we will continue to be burnt out until we physically can't keep going anymore. That is the worst case situation when burnout goes ignored, right? we find ourselves at a place where we're literally physically ill, sick. That's really where this heads if we don't figure this out. Um, and it's not simply only because of burnout, but it is a big issue. But chronic fatigue. Well, I don't want to get into like naming certain conditions and whatnot, but I feel like you know what I mean. Like when the body is really screaming out for help. As I said at the beginning, like there is no type of rest that could really help you. If we aren't making these mindset shifts and really addressing the issue at the core, we may find ourselves up in dis-ease, right? In the hospital, actually sick from this. And then we won't be able to do anything at all. Okay? So, what can we do about this? So if you found yourself in this place of burnout, it may feel intimidating at first to be like, okay, I just need to stop. I need to ask for help. You might not be sure who or what or where or how that's going to start. Don't worry. All you need to do is get a handle on it up here in your mind. Okay? So the first thing that I like to do is you can pull out a piece of paper, you can meditate, or come to a place of where you can meditate, and literally visualize yourself healed and at a place that's comfortable for you, right? What does this person do? What does this person say? Well, this person would be you, really. Like, what is it that you really need, right? Start with that and just visualize. Then the next step is to create like a mission statement or some affirmations based in this new identity of yourself, right? So for me, I had to start telling myself that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to rest. It's okay to say no, right? And how I visualized myself was that I was able to have slower mornings, right? I didn't need to wake up right away and just get started on getting, the children ready or jumping right onto the computer for work or even checking my email right away. All I wanted was to be able to get up, have a cup of tea, do some qigong and stretch, have a few moments to just rest and breathe for myself. Some other things that I visualized for myself were that my day wasn't jam-packed with responsibilities from the moment I wake up to the moment I went to sleep. When I was deep in my burnout phase, I would just pass out at the end of the day. There was really no end of the day. It would just be, I would pass out on the couch, I would pass out in my work chair, I would pass out on the bed with my work clothes still on, and that really bothered me. So I visualized a space and a time where I actually had an end of the day type of routine or ritual. I was thinking about, I wanted to be able to put on nice pajamas and have a end of the day cup of tea, something that would help me relax, be able to watch something, perhaps maybe be able to read a little something before I went to bed, or even scroll on my phone, right? But anything other than just that pass out at the end of the day. Okay? Now, these steps are just the beginning. right? Of first just realizing where you are, understanding the severity of it, that pushing past your limits will make you ill, and that there's really no one that can really fix it except for yourself. And the first step is to wrap your head around where you're going and what it is that would make you feel more aligned. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and leave this message right here. Thank you so much for listening. And that's it. See you in the next one.